Thank you. Thank you all very much. It is such a pleasure to be here today with each and every one of you. And I do something at my center every Sunday. I have a center in Manhattan, and I am going to ask you to do the same. So let's stand up and wish each other a very happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. That'll... Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Joe. Love you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Nice to see you.
Very good to see you.
Yeah, pleasure. Happy Sunday. Thank you. Happy Sunday. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, happy Sunday. Wow, this is a very lively group. Very lively. Wow. This is a very lively group we have here this morning. Very lively group. So welcome everyone, and what I want to say to you this morning at my center in New York City, I always say to people that when you come into my center, whatever you are feeling, if it's a negative quality or whatever it is that you have inside of you that may be of a negative quality, when you leave here today, you are going to feel better. Yes? Yes, absolutely. So we have that in mind. So I understand that you have the power of connection. That's what we're talking about. And my talk is your divine connection. And I want to start out with a wonderful quote by one of my favorite poets. His name is Rumi. You've heard of him, I'm sure. Yes? He says this, and this is really very powerful. So I really want you not only to pay attention to the message this morning, because what I have been teaching at my center now throughout this year is that we are not only learning information, but we are beginning to practice it. You know, I love what Tony Robbins says about information. He says you can sit down and listen to things and become an information collector. But it's not until you begin to practice that you begin to have life-changing things in your world. So we are practicing this message this morning, yes? Yes. Okay. So I want you to listen to these words by Rumi because this is really the essence of what I am speaking to you about today. Rumi says, work in the invisible world at least as hard as you do in the visible. Think about that. Work in the invisible world at least as hard as you do in the visible world. So all of us know about cell phones, tablets, computers. That's the visible world. But how many of us actually take the time to go within and to go into that invisible world where the power of the Spirit is? The power of the Holy Spirit is within each and every one of us. And when we begin to use this power and this presence for good, it begins to change our lives. It begins to work through us, and it can only do for us what it can do through us. So we have to begin to resonate with the Spirit. We have to begin to go within. And people at my center say, well, I don't have time, I'm so busy. Let me tell you something about life. I've been on the planet for a while. Yes? You don't have to agree. I've been on the planet for a while, and I will tell you right now that when you go within, when you meditate, it is life-changing. It is very life-changing because I have been meditating for over 20 years. When you go into the stillness, when you get quiet, when you calm your mind. The meditation that we did this morning, very beautiful, very healing. So there is always time to go within. Every morning I practice the presence. I go within and I have a spiritual practice. I was sharing with Nick this morning about a book that I would highly recommend for all of you. It's called Your Miracle Morning, and it's by Hal Elrod. And he talks about a spiritual practice in that book. A spiritual practice really creates for you a better life. When you go within to spirit, when you begin to pray, how many people in this room use prayer in their daily lives? By a show of hands. Probably most of you. It's okay. This is not the old-time religion where you're going to go to hell if you don't, do your prayer work every day, right? This is a new thought kind of teaching, and we teach love and we teach the positive aspects of life. So what I have done for you this morning in this talk is to speak to you about 5 different things that I would like to share with you. There are 5 points to the message this morning. And the first one is connecting to the divine. So we begin each day by being still and knowing the truth, you see? And how you practice meditation is entirely up to you. It could be a quiet time for 5 minutes. Some people practice meditation for hours. I went to Brazil a couple of years ago to visit John of God, which was a very amazing experience for me. I took a group of about 15 people. And one of the things that really challenged me, people would sit in the meditation room for 3 or 4 hours meditating. I don't know about you, but that's very challenging. Is there anyone in here who meditates for 2 or 3 hours every day? I'd like to talk to you after the service. I meditate for about maybe 10, 15 minutes every morning. You see, I have learned to be reasonable with myself. Spirituality can be very practical. You can do your prayer work for a haircut. You can do your prayer work for anything at all that you would like to demonstrate in your life. And you can also do meditation just to calm your mind, just to go into the place of surrender. So the first step then in a spiritual practice is to just get calm and get quiet and go within. That is really the first step. But it's also to begin the process, to start it, to do it. So if some of you are procrastinating about it, as I did for so many years, and I always share the story, that when I first started to meditate, and many of you may be this way, I had to have everything perfect. Anybody in here like that, or just me? Everything has to be so perfect, right? We live in a world like that. We think we have to be perfect, but it's not perfection, it's progress. I always say that, it's progress, not perfection. So what I want to share with you today is a little story about something that I used to do. This is procrastination in form. I said I have to have the perfect fringe stool. I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I have to have a little bell and all that kind of stuff. 7 years went by and I still wasn't meditating. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. 7 years. Am I reaching any of you with this message? Life is about practice. Life is about what you practice. You either practice the presence or you practice the absence. Do you see? You're always practicing something. So my message for you this morning is to wake up, even if you have to get up 10 minutes earlier every morning, to do a practice, to practice your spirituality, to get in touch with that spirit within you. That is step number 1. Be still and know. That comes out of the Bible. Be still and know that I am. The I am meditation. Wayne Dyer speaks about that, and he's still with us. I know that. I feel his presence. I really do. He was a wonderful, wonderful teacher. And number 2 is to quiet the mind. In many ways, this is what letting go is all about. It is practicing letting go of any negativity that you may have. I have shared something with my center that I'd like to share with you because people have told me it's been a wonderful lesson for them. I always do this every day, and I get tired of it, I have to say, but I still do it. Here's what I say. I ask for and receive divine guidance. Let's say that together. I ask for and receive divine guidance. What are you doing when you're doing that? You're practicing the connection that you have to spirit. You're practicing the presence. You're asking for and you're affirming that you are receiving that divine guidance. That you are not only asking for it, but you are receiving it. In this world, we need divine guidance. See, even the puppies need divine guidance. We all need divine guidance. Yes. So divine guidance then is something that blesses up, uplifts us, inspires us to move forward, onward, and upward in consciousness. And you will learn that through this simple little practice that you will glean so much intuition and so many blessings from Spirit by asking for and knowing that you are receiving divine guidance. That is so important today. It really is. Take this message home with you and practice it. Practice the presence, not the absence. Don't be like me and wait 7 years to begin your meditation practice because you didn't get it perfectly. You know, it's the same thing with when we write things. Anybody in here a writer? A lot of times I meet a lot of writers. I write also. I love to write when I'm inspired. And then we create this thing called writer's block, right? And we say we have writer's block and then we demonstrate it. We have to get rid of that as an idea, you see. So quieting the mind is really what brings you in touch with your connection to Spirit. That is step number 2. And then we go to the next step. We're quieting the mind. And then in the third step, we are communing with the presence. And in this step, we are actually working with Spirit to listen. You can't hear Spirit when you're angry. You can't hear Spirit when you're resentful. You see, these are the things that we work on to let go of. We need to let go of these ideas. We need to get a new idea about ourselves, about life, and about what we are doing in life and with life. Yes? Yes, we do. So when we are communing with the divine, we are at one with it. We are accepting it as a power for good in our lives, and we are beginning to declare for ourselves something good in our world. We are saying yes to life. We are saying yes to the goodness of life, the wholeness of life, and the blessings that life can bring to us. We are being blessed, each and every one of us. And each and every one of you in this room is receiving a blessing right now through this lesson. This lesson, I believe, is coming from the Spirit within. You notice a lot of people say to me, well, you don't have any notes. Well, I just refer to my notes and then I speak to you from the heart and from the mind. And my teacher, Dr. Grayson, who I always honor because he was my mentor and my teacher for so many years, he blessed me. So we pass this on. We pay it forward, as they say. Whatever good is being done to you, pay it forward. Do something good for someone in your life, and it will come back to you multiplied abundantly. It truly will. This is what we are here to do. But when we go within and we get that connection to this power and this presence within us, always there for us. It never says no to us. So whatever it is that we are saying to it, if we are saying something negative, it says, yes, you're right. You get that? If you are saying something to this presence and power that is negative, it says, yes, you are right. So we need to have a new message. We need to send a new message to get the clarity and the peacefulness within us. And we need to know that we are being blessed each and every moment through the quietness, through the connection. Ernest Holmes said, there's a power for good in the universe, and each and every one of us are free to use it. How are you using it? You see, when you get quiet and you go into that silence and you get that deepened connection, which is what you get from meditation. They just asked one of the financial geniuses on Wall Street, and forgive me, I can't remember his name, but I'm sure all of you would know it if I said it. I don't remember his name, I have to be honest. But they said to him, Ray Dalio? Somebody help me. Ray, do you know who I'm talking about? I think he's the head of Chase Bank or something. No, that's Jamie Dimon. This is somebody else. Anyway, he said that the one thing that helped him in his life was meditation. He meditates each and every day. Do you know how many people are meditating now in this world? You are not only helping yourself when you meditate, but you are quieting the ripples of your own mind so that when you go out into life with that connection, you are fortified, much like you are fortified by the foods that you eat, you see? Young people, when they begin to meditate, they can begin to make so many changes in this world. They can carry a new message of the Spirit that will come from them and come through them and bless them and uplift them and inspire them and empower them. That is what each and every one of us needs to do in life, to become more empowered so that we can empower others. That is really the gift that we have and the gift that we bring. Connection. Your divine connection is very, very special. And when you quiet the mind, you are open to receive the Spirit. You know, I can remember, and today I don't talk politics, I don't get into politics, thank you God, I do not do that. And so what I will say to you though is that I couldn't listen to certain people. Has anybody ever had this experience? I'm glad I'm not alone. But see, what I realized was, and some of you are laughing because you understand exactly what I'm talking about, but what I learned was that the more angry that I am, the less I can listen or hear anything that anyone is saying, yes? That's very true, think about it. If you're really angry at something, you can't hear. You can't hear what someone is saying. If someone starts talking to you about something and you get angry, you can't hear them. We become deaf, you see? But it's not even what we hear with the senses, it's what we know through our spirituality. You get a whole new knowingness when you begin to meditate and pray. Because you know why? You can change things. Some people feel very helpless in this life. But this teaching is not about helplessness. It is about being helpful to others and helpful to yourself. And through prayer and meditation, you can help yourself because there is this power that we are connected to. It's like the power of electricity. You go home and you plug things in. Everybody in here have a cell phone? Anybody not have a cell phone in here? One person admitted he does not have a cell phone. Wow, that's interesting. That's good though, I guess, in some ways. I don't know too many people without a cell phone, especially in Manhattan. Everybody has a cell phone. In fact, people are walking in Manhattan, they're talking on their cell phone, they don't know who they're, they don't see anything. It's like we're so connected to our cell phones, you see? If we were that connected to the power of the Spirit, what a life we would have. Maybe they'll develop a way, this is just coming through me, to put something into our cell phone that connects us to Spirit and we can all be connected. Isn't that a great idea? I love that. That is a great idea. They're telling me I have to wrap this up. I love that. Think about it. The power of connection. Okay, so number 4, I want to finish this up very quickly. The words of St. Paul is what I brought for this. St. Paul says, I die daily in the Bible, remember? But what he's talking about is not dying every day. He's talking about dying to negation. He dies daily to let go of the power of negativity. That's what we are doing when we meditate. We are letting go of our negativity. We are releasing and dissolving all the negatives, you see? I die daily, remember that. Die daily to your old ideas. Every day is a new opportunity to bless yourself, to bring more life into your life through the Spirit. And that Spirit will bless, uplift, and inspire you. Step number 5, and I want to finish this up with a spiritual mind treatment. Become renewed and refreshed by the Spirit. When we practice these steps, we are being blessed by the connection within us. There is a power for good in the universe. Get with it. Get it. Think about my idea. Maybe we can do something with a cell phone. There are many of you in here, maybe some of you have this as an idea. If we could put something into a cell phone where everybody could get empowered each and every day, it's something we use every day. We could connect in a different way, in a better way, in a more beautiful way. We could be inspired and empowered to become connected. Connected to the Spirit, connected to the source of everything. This is really your divine connection. I want to end this lesson this morning. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you. I love coming here. I really do. This is a beautiful community. But I want to close with a prayer. And I want to also ask you to do something each and every day because this is a teaching of practice. It's no longer about collecting information, folks. Anybody can go to a seminar and listen. It's what you're going to do with the information. That's what brings the change. That's what does it. Let me give you a prayer. Yes? Okay. So I told you when you came in here that when you leave, you're going to feel better. So this is the prayer, this is the power of prayer. So let's join in consciousness together and let's know this truth. And as you close your eyes and go within, I am knowing for each and every one in this room that there is a divine intelligence that created each and every one of us. We are at one with it now. We are blessed by it, inspired by it, and uplifted. We are moving out into life in a new direction, practicing the presence, practicing the right direction. This is called right action in action. Each and every person in this room this morning is blessed by love, blessed by the Spirit within, and holds this idea within them throughout this week as they practice. They begin a practice which blesses, inspires, and soothes their soul. And by these very words, each and every person is moving out into a new direction, creating with Spirit the most wonderful, beautiful things, because the spiritual ideas that resonate within us are blessing us and sending us out a new message of life and joy and peace, of empowerment. For each and every person in this room, there is a blessing, there is inspiration, and there is a deepened connection to the Sacred One. And through this connection, each and every person in this room is not only blessed, but inspired to live in a new, more wonderful, more glorious way than ever before. This word is the truth. Any thought pattern that would try to negate it is uprooted, neutralized, and dissolved. And the word is now in the law, where it is free to do its perfect work for each and every one of us, and it does. So be it, and together we say, and so it is. And that is the way it is. Thank you. Thank you.